I think when somebody says that somebody else got successful because that person was lucky, I think that is just a form of cope. It is an excuse that people have to belittle other people's successes because they are not as successful as they want to be. And so they're just like, oh, yeah, that person got lucky. And successful people, they will say that they got lucky too. They will say it because they don't want to make people angry. But here's what I believe. I don't believe in luck. I think you can expand your surface area for luck to such a great deal that it is an inevitability that you will get lucky, that it literally becomes inevitable that you are going to get lucky because you have expanded your surface area for luck. And so that is what I am going to be talking about on this episode. Sometimes I call it optimizing for luck. You can optimize your life. You can optimize your business. You can optimize whatever you do in life for luck. But I think it might be better to think about it as in you are just expanding this net that you have. You are expanding your surface area for luck so that your net is so big, you're going to catch something. You're going to catch something amazing. And so I'm going to share 3 ways to expand your surface area for luck because I'll tell you, feels like I get lucky every day now. I mean, my life is so crazy now compared to how it's ever been, actually. I'm going to make a whole episode on this, but like, I've been viral several times before TikTok, before Instagram, before I had a social media presence. I was one of the early viral video producers on YouTube. Me and my friends, we made the first play to earn game in crypto, and we were the talk of the town when we did those things. And then the hype died down, and the hype died down pretty fast. But for me now, it feels like this every day. And it's because this net that I have created has gotten so wide, this surface area for luck. I have such a high surface area that every day you could say that I'm getting lucky, but it's not luck. I created it, I manifested it, and anybody can do that. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So how do you get lucky? First, we got to talk about top of mind awareness. I've talked about it on this show before. It's one of my favorite concepts in marketing and business, and it is applicable to so many different things. What is top of mind awareness? An easy way to think about it is when people think of a niche, they think of you because you have so much top of mind awareness in that niche. When people think about motivational speaking or speakers, who do they think about? They think about Tony Robbins. Maybe they think about Gary Vaynerchuk, someone who's growing in that space. The hosts of My First Million, specifically Sean Puri is great at motivational speaking. He might be another one, but really Tony Robbins, he is the top. He has so much top of mind awareness when it comes to motivational speaking. And so he gets the most opportunities. He's the most lucky because he expanded his surface area for luck. When you think of fast food, you think of McDonald's, you think of Burger King. When you think of podcasting, you think of Lex Friedman, you think of Joe Rogan. Top of mind awareness is so powerful because the opportunities go to whoever has the most top of mind awareness. There's so many different ways to create top of mind awareness, and so I'm going to be sharing 3. Okay, so the first one, this is something that anyone can do from anywhere in the world. You don't have to be in a top tier city to do this. You can be anywhere. You could be in the lowest tier city. And if you're talented and if you're a hustler and if you know how to speak and if you know how to listen, especially how to listen, you can do this. So I used this tool during lockdowns while I was living in Kiev in Ukraine. And then I used it all over the world, actually. So many different countries I've used this tool, but it was especially big during lockdowns. It used to be for in-person lunches. And then during lockdowns, they just made it entirely digital, one-on-one video chats. And it's called Lunchclub. And I've shared it before. And I'll share it again because it was great. And I checked recently, and there's still activity on it. People still use Lunchclub. So Lunchclub is a tool for you to have one-on-one meetings with anybody in the world in business. And Lunchclub uses AI to match you with people who it thinks will like you or you will have similar interests with. And I had so many great conversations on Lunchclub and so many opportunities came my way on Lunchclub because I would talk to lots of people. I would establish top of mind awareness. People would come to know me for something. People would know somebody in that niche and then they would connect me to that person. Oh, I would get lucky. But it wasn't lucky. I did it over and over and over again. It was inevitable. Lunchclub was so good. So you could get on there and you could just take 7 calls a week. I think you could do more. I think at one point I was doing 2 calls a day on Lunchclub and it's free. Oh, it's free. It's entirely free. Last time I checked, it was free. And the people I met there were great. I met heads of industry, I met super connected people. And yeah, it was during lockdowns, but I think there's still a decent amount of good, talented people on there. And here's the thing, everyone knows somebody. So first, the tip, how do you actually like get people to know you and like you? It's actually a converse trick. Instead of just talking about yourself nonstop, you want to just listen to the other person. You want to be a really good listener. And then after you've listened for long enough, the person will get bored talking about themselves. And then they'll be like, okay, who are you? I want to get to know you. You talk about yourself, and the person will like you by now because that person has talked about themselves so much. And when somebody talks about themselves, that's the sweetest sound. They want to hear themselves speak. So my trick is I don't talk about myself until another person asks me. I say, how are you? How's it going? What are you up to? What are you working on? Oh, that sounds super cool. Tell me about that. That's really fascinating. Why are you doing that? Oh, you know someone there. I know someone here. I think it's very similar. And then you find similar things to bond with them over. And then eventually they want to know, who is this person? I'm starting to like this person. Who is this person? And then they'll ask you questions about yourself. And then that will create top of mind awareness because they'll like you by now. They're going to remember you because they like you. And since they're going to remember you, they're going to remember you for what you do. So that's my trick. I do that whenever I meet people. I am very reluctant, actually, to talk about myself, despite having this podcast where I talk about myself all the time, despite doing daily videos in my newsletter. I talk about myself enough on social media and on YouTube and in the newsletter. When I am meeting someone, it's all about them. And that was my strategy. I discovered this strategy when I started selling consulting in 2015 or 16. I was going to tech events in New York City every day and night, so much. And at first, I tried just talking about myself. Didn't work. And it was only until I started listening to other people and only talking about myself when they asked that I started getting top of mind awareness and then the opportunities that I wanted so bad. And so it works so well when you meet people. So I use that on Lunchclub. Lunchclub is great. That's my first recommendation. Second, if you are in a top tier city, just go into in-person events. Here's a few tips for going to in-person events. First of all, I have several guides on my website. Let me actually tell you what these guides are. I didn't even plan on recommending these guides, but they just occurred to me. The first is what I learned about networking going to NYC tech and business events every night for 3 years. That's a great guide. And then the second is, this was the first one that I wrote, things I've learned about networking to sell a service. So I have 2 guides on my site. I wrote these for myself. I think the best pieces of work are made for the author of that work. And I made these for myself. And they're very detailed. I give a lot of instructions, but I'm going to just give some things that I personally noticed. It's best to show up early to events. Nobody knows this. I got to make a video on this because really nobody knows this. Nobody knows this about networking and about going to events. Show up early. When you show up early, people are just bumbling around, wandering around. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know what to do. And it's really easy to have one-on-one meetings. It's really easy to meet with people because they are desperate to meet other people. If you get there late, people are going to be in groups. You know how hard it is to meet people and to create top of mind awareness? When people are in a group, it's so difficult. You're basically wasting your time at that point when people are in a group. You don't want to get in a group and be one of the people talking. You want to have one-on-ones. One-on-ones is how you create top of mind awareness. So I would get to events early. Get to events early. Go say hi to somebody. Just ask some questions so they do the talking. They'll feel more comfortable. That'll break the ice. Ask them what they do, why they do it, how long they've been doing it for, what they like about it, things like that. So easy. And then you'll feel warmed up too. You'll talk to them. You'll create a good relationship. They'll ask about you. Then you can talk to more people. But actually, my best trick was I would only try to talk to one person whenever I would go to an event. I've been to so many networking events all over the world. My trick is I show up early, I pick someone to talk to, and then I just talk to that person. And then after the event or before the event ends, we leave and we go to dinner. Because when you go from one place to another with somebody else, they're even more likely to remember you. That creates even more top of mind awareness. Now you're their friend. Now in their mind, you're their friend. And so they're really going to remember you. And when they think of your niche, they're going to think of you. So I would go with them to dinner, and then I'd even buy them dinner. It's a great way to optimize for luck, to increase your surface area, your net for luck. It's not just about how many people you meet. It's about the quality of relationships you have with these people. And there are these little cheat codes that you can do with people to make them so much more likely to like you and to remember you. So show up early, ask questions, listen, and then go somewhere else with that person. It doesn't have to be dinner. It could be for a drink. It could just be for a walk. The person will be a lot more likely to remember you and to like you. and to either want to do business with you directly or recommend you to people who need your services. And referrals convert really, really well. Referrals convert really well. You don't get lucky. You do these things enough, and then it's just an inevitability at that point. And the last one, what is the last one? The last one is why I don't do any of these things anymore. I don't really go to networking events. Unless I'm invited and it's an event I really want to go to, then maybe I'll go. One-on-one meetings, I pretty much turn everybody down. These are all great. These are great, especially if you don't want to do the thing that I'm going to recommend now. But the third way to optimize for luck, make content about what you do and do it daily, do it several times a day, and put it in places where algorithms will recommend your content and then recommend you. This could be X, this could be TikTok, this could be Instagram, this could be YouTube. X is pretty good. If you give your value proposition really clearly, you can just go around commenting on lots of different people's posts. I share this guide. I'll share it in the description for this episode. It's from Natia Kurdasi, and she wrote a 32-step guide for how to grow on X. Great guide. I made a whole episode on it, actually. If you want to listen to that episode, it's episode number 333, and it's called How to Grow Fast on Twitter X in 2024. It is so good. If I wasn't so active on TikTok and Instagram with my videos, I would be doing this. It is a great guide. Very clear advice, very actionable. But yeah, make content about what you do, make content about your niche, and do it every day. Do it several times a day. I just made a podcast yesterday about how I posted 11 or 12 times in 2 days in 48 hours, and I grew so fast. I get so many requests from people who want to work with me. I say this on every episode. Every day, I get so many of these requests in my inbox because my surface area is so great. My surface area for luck, but it's not me getting lucky. It's I manifested this. I created this, and anybody can do this. I'm so bullish on this because anybody can do this, and you can do it from anywhere you are in the world. The algorithms will find who like your stuff, and they will push your stuff out to these people. But if you can do this, if this is the greatest thing ever, and it's really great, if this is so great, why even recommend the other two things? Well, because creating content isn't for everybody, as I've had to find out from several friends. I think it's really easy. I just think people don't give it enough time. But maybe you just want to stay private. Okay, that's fine. So you can do Lunchclub and you can do events. And these are great ways to expand your surface area for luck. And the thing is, if your surface area for luck is wide enough, it really doesn't take much. It just takes one person to change everything. It just takes one person. And you can create really strong top-of-mind awareness with literally just a handful of people, but everybody knows somebody. That's something that I learned. When I changed my approach to how I was meeting people in 2015 and 2016, and I changed my approach to listening to people and not talking about myself until I was asked, I quickly learned that I only had to meet a handful of people for me to start getting business because everybody knew. So I was trying to sell SEO, and everyone knew someone who wanted to do SEO, or they knew someone who knew someone. They would see a request on Facebook. Someone would ask them, hey, do you know someone who might do X, Y, and Z? And I was going to the right places. So they would be the person that they would think of. I was going to tech events. And so it really doesn't take much, but I don't really believe in getting lucky. Sure, some things are actual luck, but I think most successes in business, they're not luck. People are smart. They tried enough times and they expanded their surface area so that opportunities were going to land in their net. And that is what I believe. This is episode 342 of The Edward Show. This is my daily digital marketing, growth hacking, growth marketing podcast. Sometimes I talk about sales because this was more of a sales episode, but some marketing too. I think posting every day on TikTok and Instagram and X, that's totally digital marketing. This is just a concept that I wish more people understood. There's such power in repetitive action with one channel, whether that's networking, whether that's posting content, whether that's outbound. And the more you do it, the more your surface area grows, the more you optimize for ways to increase your top of mind awareness. So that's what I wanted to leave you with today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm recording this from this restaurant in this upscale hotel that I'm always at, this upscale hotel lobby. It has this amazing restaurant cafe in it. I'm recording this from here. I'm always here. And it's a great day today. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.